Nobody that's a leader would not do what I did. And I know there's a risk, there's a danger, but that's okay. I just left Walter Reed Medical Center. And I learned so much in coronavirus. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the best medical equipment. Don't be afraid of it. It felt great, like better than I have in a long time. Don't be afraid of it. I didn't feel so good. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the coronavirus. Don't be afraid of it. And now I'm better, and maybe I'm immune. I don't know. Be afraid of it. Don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives. Be afraid of it. Don't let that happen. We're the greatest country in the world. Be afraid of it. As your leader, I had to do that. I knew there's danger to it, but I had to do it. But don't let it dominate your lives. Get out there. Be careful. We have the best medicines in the world, and it all happened very shortly, and they're all getting approved, and the vaccines are coming momentarily.
Today, I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will save countless lives. Convalescent, strong antibodies from the blood of recovered patients to help treat patients battling a current infection. Convalescent is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Convalescent. Today, I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will save countless lives. We provided $48 million to fund the Mayo Clinic study that tested the efficacy of convalescent the virus. Convalescent. This is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Convalescent.
All right. Whoa, an extraneous plasma there left over. We are going to see Donald Trump today. We've not seen Donald Trump for a while, but he's scheduled to give a Rose Garden press conference at the top of the hour. It's been a disastrous day for Trump once again. He officially lost Georgia. That's the big news. Georgia has been called. Hold on. I have a bunch of different things here for you guys. Where is my Georgia element for this stream? Oh, maybe I don't even have it. Hold on. I thought I had my Georgia stuff. No, I guess I don't. Well, in any case, Georgia has been called for Joseph R. Biden Jr. And it looks like that Georgia puts 306 electoral votes up on the board for Joe Biden, which is the same number of electoral votes that Trump had in 2016. In 2016, Trump lost the popular vote. Where is that coming from? Oh, that's my voicemail elements, which I had for you guys a little bit later. I'm just going to mute that for now. CNN called Georgia. Washington Post called Georgia. Others have called Georgia at this point in time. So remember, in 2016, Trump lost popular by 3 million, won electoral with 306. That was called a landslide by Prump, by Kellyanne Conway, C-O-N, like a con. She cons people. Kayleigh Marganani, everybody 306, even though you lost by 3 million, was a landslide. This year, we have Biden with 306 winning the popular vote by 5 to 6 million. So by their definition, these are not words I'm looking to apply. By their definition, this is a landslide. And are they admitting it? No, they're actually saying Trump won. And just to start getting some of these things out of the way, because I have so many things to play for you. Here is Kayleigh being asked on Fox Business by Stuart Varney whether Trump will attend Biden's inauguration. And she says he has to go to the inauguration because he'll be the one being inaugurated. Take a listen to this.
Are you prepared to say that the President Trump will definitely attend the inauguration?
Again, that's many steps away here. We're talking January, and President Trump believes he will be President Trump, have a second term, and litigation is the first step, many steps away from that.
It would look pretty bad if he did not attend the inauguration. It would look like sour grapes, wouldn't it?
I think the president will attend his own inauguration. He would have to be there, in fact.
Yeah. So anyway, at this point, we don't even really need to pay attention to that trash anymore, because we now have widespread reporting that Trump knows he's not going to win. Trump's talking about launching a news network to crush Fox. Trump's talking about announcing his run for 2024. Trump knows he's not going to be the next, he's not going to be the president for the next 4 years. He is, it's theater. And he's trying to raise money to retire some of his campaign debt. There are folks on fixed incomes who really can't afford to be donating money to Trump, but they're giving him money thinking this might help Trump win. Even Trump doesn't think he's going to win, and half of the money they donate for recounts is going to be used to retire campaign debt. You don't have to take my word for it. Look at the fine print on those fundraising emails that I know many of you have been receiving. So that's that as far as MAGA Nanny is concerned. Now, I have so many things to play for you guys today. I have new unhinged voicemails. I have emails I want to show you. I have memes. I have music. I have a preview of my interview with Vosh. Vosh Destiny Piker III is how I'm now referring to him. That interview will be publishing in about 3 hours on my YouTube channel. I just have so many different things. I don't even know where to start, but I guess let's do this. I now have a full interview. This was supposedly Lou Dobbs interviewed this woman on the left, I guess is a whistleblower of sorts. One of the people who signed those affidavits about voter fraud. And let's just listen to what she had to say a little bit.
How did that happen?
So the workers are handed ballots in stacks of 50s.
Stacks.
They are referred to as batches.
Oh, my God.
And they run them through the tabulators.
What accent is that, by the way?
When the ballot has any kind of a mark on it, it'll stop.
How many different? It sounds like the word "it" has 3 different vowels in it. I'm not familiar. That's not Staten Island. I don't think that's Staten Island. Okay.
The tabulator will stop completely.
Tabulator.
And the computer will put up an error, and it'll say, ballot number 25 has an error, and.
Right.
So the process would
This is pretty devastating stuff, guys.
be to take ballot number 25, as well as all of the other ballots that had already went through the tabulator, off, put them back in a pile, put ballot number 25 on top of the stack, discard the whole batch, and rescan it.
Yeah. Joe Biden's new chief of staff, Ronald Klain, was reportedly visibly shaken by this interview.
And instead they went through that process several times. Describe the night shift chaos that you.
Here's where it gets good.
Food vans apparently showing up, but not with food, but with ballots, apparently. Give us a sense of what happened.
Well, they keep talking about curing ballots. Of course, it's a food van. If you're curing ballots, if you're sautéing ballots, if you're grilling ballots, obviously that sounds like food work to me.
So I worked a 24-hour shift. I started at 6 a.m. and I got off at 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. The next day.
Right.
So I started at 6 a.m. November 3rd, got off at 6 a.m. November 4th.
Beautiful.
So I was there during their day shift and their night shift. The city provides the workers with food for their shift. Well, they only had enough food for 1/3 of their workers.
There you go.
So that is the reason why they were claiming that these vans were brought in.
Yep. Reportedly, they also showed up exclusively with matzo ball soup and chocolate babka, and anti-Semitism exploded based on the food items that were delivered. Also, there was Hanukkah brisket as well, and people were like, brisket, oh my God.
But these vans did not have food taken out of them.
And the vans that showed up.
It's Lou Dobbs trying to figure out what the claims are is almost as good as the claims themselves.
They were supposed to be filled with food. What did they have in them? Do you know?
Ballots.
Never saw anything being brought out of the vans. I know that whatever was being brought out of the vans was being brought out of the back of the vans.
Right.
But
which is suspicious. I mean, who brings anything out the back of a van?
Allowed over in that area at all. But the vans were definitely not big enough to be carrying enough food for 2/3 of those workers.
Yep. They supposedly also had some of those fake meats, like soy-based meats, and a lot of workers were infuriated by that.
Well, it's all very suspicious.
It's all completely. There was a food van, and there was only enough food for 1/3 of the workers. Give the state to Trump, guys.
It is very clear that you have witnessed highly irregular activities in that counting session. And David, I want to turn to you.
Yeah, then they go to this guy. So anyway, that's pretty explosive, aggressive claims, as all of you guys can understand. And Kamala reportedly looking for consulting work because she, after seeing that interview, Kamala's like, there's no way I'm going to get to be vice president at this rate. So really, really crazy stuff. All right, we've gotten that out of the way. If you're just joining me, it's been basically, Wednesday. It's been 9 days since we've seen Donald Trump publicly, other than when he did a wreath laying on Veterans Day. Before tweeting election conspiracies, Trump went and did a wreath laying. And it's not been a good day for Trump. His lawyers are quitting left and right. Georgia's been called for Joe Biden. Arizona election witness confessed to being a Trump campaign lawyer's business partner in court. So the Arizona fraud claims have completely fallen apart there. So Arizona's done as possible fraud. New York Times, law firms are pulling back from Trump's election fight. Porter Wright was representing Trump in a lawsuit in Pennsylvania. They just bailed. Jones Day lawyers say that they're not going to take on any new election litigation. Like, it's all just going very, very bad. And we'll cover this on the Monday show. But needless to say, it's not been a good day for Donald Trump. And I guess the idea is Trump's going to speak about Operation Warp Speed, which is this program to try to get the coronavirus vaccine. The vaccine that now is the closest, which is the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine, was developed in Germany by Turkish immigrants and will be manufactured by Pfizer, which took no Operation Warp Speed money. But regardless of that, Trump wants credit for it, much like Trump tried to take credit for Barack Obama's Veterans Choice program. Trump wants credit for a German vaccine developed by Turkish immigrants, manufactured by one of the American companies that took none of Trump's money. He will, I'm sure, today try to take credit for it. And it will be pretty wild stuff. Let me say a few thank yous. We did just have 8 people grab memberships at joinpacman.com, which I really appreciate. We are also counting Twitch subs, and now at 2,500, that is 5, putting us at 13. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate that. Let me look at just a couple of super chats here. A Drumpf Twitler asked whether my interview with Peter Joseph was rescheduled. Yeah, he no-showed, sadly. We rarely get no-shows, but it was just missing. I hope he's okay. But it wasn't even rescheduled. It was just, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened to him. But my interview with Vaush did happen. Let me just very, very briefly, I'll play just a hard-hitting moment of my interview with Vaush. This goes live at, no, it's not Vaush. I know it's Vosh. Vosh Destiny Piker III. This will be going live in about 3 hours on my YouTube channel. Okay, just take a listen to this.
Reasonable again, or at least more standard.
That's I mean that's we agree. We definitely are agreeing on more than I imagined. Maybe this is the where we could end it. Do you think an open-faced omelet is a pizza? Where do you come down on that?
I am a culinary and linguistic descriptivist. I think that if you want to call it a pizza, you have to, and I will respect your right to do so.
So an open-faced omelet, you're fine calling a pizza?
Absolutely, I am.
Wow.
100%.
That's huge. That's huge. And if you put a tortilla under it, then it's absolutely a pizza, right?
I mean, that nails it home. Not that it needed that affirmation, but
anyway, so the full interview will be live at 6:45 p.m. Eastern time, and most of it is about other things. We talk about socialism, social democracy, and all of that different stuff. I do want to let you know that we've enabled Nightbot on both YouTube and Twitch. We're adding commands, we are adding elements, and Nightbot is going to be babysitting the chat in addition to a number of different moderators. So that's very, very exciting. Dan Alley has a very important message via YouTube super chat. And this is a beautiful moment to send a super chat. David, this is just a reminder to the audience. We can still donate to the Georgia Senate race, which is desperately needed if we want actual change. 100%. Andrew Yang is moving to Georgia, and at least temporarily, I guess, to help with those races. Really, really important stuff going on in Georgia. And I encourage everybody to get involved. We will be getting involved as well. Emilio says, check your Instagram direct messages. Yeah, I mean, you should see what they look like. I just can't. My Instagram direct messages are worthless at this point in time. David, I heard about it on another left live stream. Does the Facebook demonetize give you pause for future segments? Oh, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but listen to this. So the other day on Facebook, on all of our platforms, I talked about the fact that Steve Bannon called for the beheading of Dr. Anthony Fauci. Okay. And obviously I said that that's crazy. We got 100% demonetized on Facebook. Our Facebook revenue went to zero, and Facebook actually became an important part of our revenue. I think lately Facebook's been about 17, 18% of our revenue on Facebook. So it's a significant amount. We are demonetized on Facebook because I said, hey, Steve Bannon said this crazy thing. Okay. Look at this. Look at this garbage. Zuckerberg defends not suspending Bannon. Facebook chief executive Mark Zuckerberg told an all-staff meeting on Thursday that former Trump White House advisor Steve Bannon had not violated enough of the company's policies to justify his suspension when he urged the beheading of two senior U.S. officials. I really need people to understand this. What Steve Bannon said was so vile, okay, so depraved, so disgusting, that my mere mention of it in the context of saying it was bad for him to say that got me demonetized. But the guy who actually said the stuff hasn't done enough to get banned yet. You understand? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could go on for about an hour on this, but I'm not going to.
9, 10.
What the hell's that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What on earth? Oh, there's audio coming through the White House feed. Okay, all right, good. Jeez, that surprised me. Anyway, so that's pretty vile, and this is why, you know, when I know it's also almost become a joke, and I do have a joke about it to play for you guys in a moment. We joke around about, oh, we depend on memberships and stuff. We just lost almost 20% of our revenue because I mentioned Steve Bannon saying something. Bannon's fine. But we lost, 17, 18% of our revenue. It's absolutely disgusting. I have a few funny things for you guys, though. Producer Pat, this is brilliant. Trump's voter fraud line, I guess, was just shut down because it was getting trolled too much. But just before it got shut down, Producer Pat called the voter fraud line, and he actually got through to someone. And he reported me, David Parkman, for voting multiple times. And he actually was able to crowbar in our possibly illegal membership discounts. This is beautifully executed. As many of you know, in non-corona times, I go to Las Vegas twice a year for a conference and, whatever. Anyway, so Producer Pat was able to reference our possibly illegal membership discounts. My often mispronounced name as Parkman, as well as my trips to Las Vegas, into this perfect phone call. Take a listen to this. Let me just get it. Give me a moment to get it set up. Okay, hold on. Pause. Let me bring it over. Whoa, hold on a second. It'll just take me like a moment to do this. Oh my God, that's the wrong video. Hold on. Holy crap, everything's going wrong here. Let me reopen it. Open with VLC. And we're pausing. Yes. Hold on, pause. Let me bring it in here. Okay, good. I'm just going to shrink it. I do think you guys are really going to like this. This is pretty good stuff. All right, so this is producer Pat, okay, calling the voter fraud line to report me. Take a listen to this.
Hello, yes, I would like to report voter.
Hold on, can you guys even hear that? Could you guys hear that? That's weird. I didn't see it coming up on my, you could. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, here we go.
Hello, yes, I would like to report voter fraud today.
Sure, what's your experience?
Well, there's a certain David Parkman who I know to have voted in Nevada 3 times at least.
Okay, and what county is that?
In Clark County. He goes there twice a year for a conference. And also he happens to be giving out borderline illegal membership discounts, like 50% off, 60% off, 70% off. And I'm worried that that could be sacrificing the integrity of the election.
Okay, and what was your name?
My name is McDonald.
McDonald. It's like McLovin, just McDonald.
Okay, well, I'll send this on your behalf. Thanks so much for calling.
McDonald is reporting 50, 60, and even 70% off. Just absolutely perfect. I don't know how he's not laughing. Yeah, so that's... If I don't know if I've ever seen as perfect a phone call. Let me just re-listen one more time to the discount part, because that's just perfect.
In Clark County. He goes there twice a year for a conference. And also he happens to be giving out borderline illegal membership discounts, like 50% off, 60% off, 70% off. And I'm worried that that could be sacrificing the integrity of the election.
Okay, and what was your name?
My name is McDonald.
No, I'm guessing Pat didn't plan on McDonald up front. Like if he had planned, like he could have anticipated being asked his name and he could have come up with something else. I'm guessing McDonald was spur of the moment.
Okay, well, I'll send this on your behalf. Thanks so much for calling.
Imagine that we were able to get Pat on like Lou Dobbs's show, saying he's one of the whistleblowers. And imagine if we could get him on Fox, because Fox News has actually gotten trolled before by fake. Once they interviewed this guy who I later interviewed, who was like, yeah, I voted Obama in 2012, but then I went Trump, and it was totally made up. And he trolled Fox, and it was perfect. Imagine if we got Pat on Fox, and he said, I saw David Pakman offering 50, 60, and even 70% off memberships. It would really be stunning. So that's excellent. I mean, just excellent work by Pat. Okay, one other video to play for you. We did get video of a cat that I guess I'm not really a cat behaviorist, but you guys tell me, does it look like this cat is enjoying watching me or doesn't like me? Because I guess the cat does this every time that I'm on TV. Take a look.
Like this. It is not common that in the United States, after an election is done, after the votes are in, showing that there is an irreversible victory by one candidate.
Like, I just don't know. I know about dog behavior, but I don't know about cat behavior. Does that mean the cat likes me? Most people are saying the cat does like me based on that. A few people saying the cat is angry with me on this basis. I just don't know enough about cats to be able to say, but that's a nice video that I got as well. Okay, let me get caught up as far as new member numbers. 11 more people have signed up on my website, which puts us at 24. And then over on Twitch, we got 8 more, which puts us at 32. We're standing by for Donald Trump's first public appearance since claiming victory during a bizarre press conference. I think it was last Wednesday or maybe last Thursday. So we're going to be hearing from Donald Trump at the top of the hour. Let me get to some of these super chats. Roy Brown says another $5 for McDonald's straight face. Pear says the cat wants a hug. Will says if Trump's understanding of legal votes is so skewed from its legal meaning, do you think similar skewed views are seen toward legal immigration by Trump and his followers? And how dangerous is this thinking? Of course, they don't understand any of what's going on. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about it. And it's extremely dangerous. Why are you dismissing the testimony from the woman who saw the vans so quickly? I'm going to assume that that's a joke, Steve. And if it's not a joke, this is probably not the right channel for you. But I'm going to imagine that that is not a serious question. I want to play for you and read a few emails from you that have come in. If you follow me on Instagram, and you really should. If you were following me on Instagram, you would have seen the very strong retweet from Gabrielle Union, but you also would have seen this email I got this morning. This is from Navarro, who wrote to me and said, I know if you put your biasness aside, you could...
1, 2, audio check. 1, 2. Good? Yeah, I got you, brother.
Okay, whoa. Very good. If you put your biasness aside, you can see a miles away the election was rigged. But you, Biden, love ducks. To bias or stupid to see. All those riots with Antifa was Biden's boogie clan to discredit President Trump. Your show is as fake as CNN fake news. Nobody gives an F what you think about the election. Report real news. You, the Democrat Communist Liberal Party, can suck Biden, in his basement until his right balls get jealous. Report something real like Zuckerberg isn't a real human, or something like that, and stop hate. Preach honesty and unity, jackass, instead of trying to fool the people watching your BS show. I've been told a lot of people's kids watch the stream, so I'm trying to keep it a little cleaner. So that's an email I received. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would be very much aware of that. I also have a couple of voicemails to play for you. I have not yet screened these, but these seem to be more new characters from this guy, Troy York. Here is his character, Dave Berkson. Take a listen to this. Oh, wait, hold on. I have to unmute. Unmute. Take a listen to this.
Hey, David Packman. Hey, Dave Berkson here. Hey, you had a meme on your YouTube site with a spaceman pointing a gun behind another spaceman talking about snowflakes with a MAGA hat.
MAGA hat?
And I just want to let you know I reported that to YouTube as promoting political terrorism against individuals. So I don't know if you'll get word on it, but I just want to let you know, hey,
we won't. No.
Dave Berkson reported it. That's me.
Yeah, so that's Troy York. Then Troy York leaving another voicemail under the fake name Woody Underwood.
Hello, David Packman. This is Woody Underwood. I'm just wondering, on the Republican point of view, it's
Sounds like my show's playing in the background also.
important in this country to have more than one one-party state. And I don't understand why I hear people talking that...
Anyway, so that one goes on for 3 minutes. And then this, I think this is his fake Italian character. This guy, he calls in with a fake Hispanic character named, and this is how he pronounces it, Ramon Ramos. He has a fake black character named Jamal Jenkins. And I believe, I'm looking at the transcript, I think this is a fake Italian character called, I'm looking at the transcript, it says Jacoby Genovese, but I'm not sure. Let's see how he actually says it.
Yes, David Packman. This is Jacoby Genovese.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, everywhere I go, I see people wear masks, and masks are everywhere. I travel throughout the Midwest with my business, and basically everyone's wearing masks. So the question I want to ponder to you is, why are COVID rates still going up when everyone that I see is wearing a fucking mask?
Okay, so this is a really funny story. So Troy York has been calling into the show for years, and he calls in with these different characters, and he always calls from a blocked number. He blocks his number. I haven't mentioned this before. Last week, Troy York forgot to block his number. And we now know exactly who he is. We know exactly where he lives. And obviously, we're not going to dox this guy. But it's just so funny because for 5-6 years, this guy's been calling from a blocked number. And I guess he just forgot one time. And now we know exactly who this guy is. And, it's just so funny. Okay. So anyway, that's what we've got going as far as voicemails go. We're waiting for Donald Trump. I would be shocked if he takes questions, but maybe he will. If you're just joining us, please make sure, if you're one of the 73,000 people watching on YouTube right now, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified in the future when we go live. We will be streaming Georgia Senate debates. We will be streaming Biden's inauguration. We will be streaming Biden events, Kamala Harris events. We will be streaming Dr. Fauci events. Make sure you're following us. Subscribe. It's free on YouTube. Follow us if you're watching, of course, on Twitch. Make sure to give us a like if you're watching on Facebook. All very, very important. I do have a couple of new songs to play for you guys. I'll just get these out of the way, and then I'll be almost caught up on everything I had for you guys. Here is here is my Georgia. Okay. I was looking for Joe Biden becomes the first Democrat to win Georgia in 28 years. We already talked about it. I couldn't find the article before. Here is a new exclusive song from Michael Carlucci of the Paula White fiasco. Take a listen to this. This is sort of like an easy listening type thing.
Strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against strike and strike and strike and strike and strike.
It's more in the mood of like 90s Tony Braxton, for example.
Strike and strike and strike and strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you. Strike and 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 strike
and strike
until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you. Let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain.
Don't give me the umbrella. I'm soaking wet already. It's windy as hell out here.
In this room, it's so hot in here, maybe I'll start to believe it myself.
And strike 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 and strike. I hear a sound of abundance of rain.
Don't give me the umbrella. I'm soaking wet already.
Number one, I'm in love, and you're in love. We're all in love together. And I'm in the White House, and I was lonely.
People falling, talking, sending things to us.
You turn in the news, COVID.
I hear a sound of abundance of rain.
Don't give me the umbrella. I'm soaking wet.
I will be president for many, 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 many years to come.
Whoa. I can't in good countenance continue showing you this.
The Neil Cavuto at the end is perfect. Okay, so we've got that. Then here is we're still waiting for Donald Trump. We're going to be fine. If you're just joining us, we're just, enjoying some new music. This is a reimagination of the David Pakman Show theme with a number of different musical elements. I think you'll like this one. This one gets really good. Here's something interesting. Today's episode is sponsored by
The David Pakman Show. It's my favorite show. You do more than you know. The David Pakman Show.
Beautiful. We have so much to cover today that I will not waste any time.
The David Pakman Show.
So anyway, that's a pretty hot track. What I would really like to do, actually, is to get the internet's busiest music nerd, Anthony Fantano, to review all of these different songs. I think it would be a really interesting thing. Like if he took it seriously and did real reviews of these songs, even if they got bad reviews, I think that would be a pretty funny crossover. And then just a couple of others here. This is called Highly Triggered Individual. This is the latest track from Jethro Bradley.
Should I play this? This is one of the most vile callers we have. Take a listen to this. I have not pre-screened this, so let me just warn you. This may not be suitable for children.
Hey, little prickless. Now that your hero is there, are you going to sit there in your little kimono and wear your little hat striped? Because it's going to be called No Free Speech, Red Chinese Communist speech. But you can't have pork because you might offend the Ayatollahs. After all, they're going to love this too. They're going to make a bomb, and I hope they drop it right on your freaking ass. But you can't have pork. But you can't have pork.
Right.
But you can't have pork. I'd like to stick that microphone right up your ass. You can't have pork. You can't have pork. You can't have pork.
Anyway, so that one's really good. And then I think I have time for just one more song. This is the Paula White is Winning track.
In the name of Jesus from South America, they're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here from Africa. Pika hata anda ata. I hear the sound of victory.
Yeah. This will get us ready for Trump.
I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of winning, winning, winning. Pika hata anda ata.
Winning, winning, winning.
So that actually, of all of these songs that we've gotten, that may be my favorite one. So we're watching every single one of these different streams. Whoa. And we are going to, we're going to be seeing Donald Trump very, very soon. So, all right, I got through everything. It's really, really good stuff. And we've got to figure out what to do with those. As we wait for Donald Trump, let me issue my one. I'm reducing my membership hard sell to only one per stream. Here's the bottom line. All these different platforms we're on, every once in a while, they totally demonetize us. We've gotten banned from Twitch before by CNN. We've gotten demonetized on YouTube to the tune of 98%. We're currently demonetized on Facebook to the tune of 100% because I mentioned something Steve Bannon said. Okay, so the way that we protect ourselves from that is we just go directly to the audience. You can go to joinpacman.com. I have this coupon code Fresh Start. Why is it Fresh Start? You guys understand why, I'm sure. We had an election last week. Joe Biden won. We're taking a fresh start. That's it. It's very, very simple. Joinpacman.com. Coupon code Fresh Start. It saves you 70%. I know I've already been reported to the Trump, what's it called? The Trump fraud line for these discounts. I'm going to continue offering them until they take me out in handcuffs. Okay, so that's the coupon code. And we have a modest goal of 100. We're at 32. It takes mere seconds to sign up. And you, of course, get access to the bonus show. Today's bonus show contains more crank calls to the Trump voter fraud line by producer Pat. So there's really, really good stuff happening on the bonus show. And I encourage literally everyone. I mean, listen, if half of 1% of the people watching right now grab a membership, that's 400 memberships. Okay. Half of 1% of everybody watching right now, because we do have, what is the 6573 square root? Derivative, second derivative, sine, cosine. We have 77,000 people watching right now across the various platforms we are on. So these are some pretty serious numbers at this point in time. I see a lot of people asking whether Donald Trump might end up conceding during this. Hold on a second. Should we? I think we have to banhammer a few people. We accept right-wingers in all of our chats, but we're not going to just accept, hate speech and vile personal attacks. So we've got some banhammers being dropped. I don't think Trump's going to concede. No, I doubt Trump will even take questions. I would be shocked if Trump took questions. Reports are that he's simply humiliated, and that's why he's not essentially leaving, being seen in public, other than when he did a wreath laying on Veterans Day. I do not believe that he will concede here. Okay, other super chats that are coming in. Let's see here. What do we have? What do we have? JR says, keep seeing what about deaths caused from suicide drug overdose due to lockdowns from MAGA heads. Would like to see deep dive on this talking point. That's a reasonable idea. Wendy asking what Trump is going to talk about today. Well, officially, this is about Operation Warp Speed and vaccines. So my sense is that Trump will be taking credit for coronavirus vaccines that are not yet out. If he took questions, obviously every question is going to be about, is he going to concede? Does he accept that he lost? But officially, this is about vaccination. Saint Sad Girl says, my mom is watching this. Hi, Mom. Love you. What a nice message. Lou says, your top 10 list of highest viewed videos are mostly from 6, 7, 8 years ago. Why have your most recent videos failed to go viral despite many more subs? So what actually matters is views per time. And so we actually had more million view videos in 2020 than any other year. When a video has been out for 7 years, it's had 7 years to accumulate views. You understand what I'm saying? When a video has only been out for a month or 2 months or 3 months, the views per day are dramatically higher. Yeah, exactly. As Microphages is pointing out, because the videos haven't been out for 8 years yet. Yeah, exactly. It's a very, very silly question. I would even call it a nasty question, which I love. I mean, I love fielding nasty questions all day, but it's a pretty nasty question. Anita Recounts, I like that, says maybe Trump should move to Oregon in January. I think he could benefit from those psychedelics. I see a lot of people asking how to get their super chat on the screen. Send a super chat. Use the $sign if you're watching on YouTube at the bottom of the chat window. Mr. Neil is asking, where can I get that music? Here's what I would like to do. I don't know how to do this, but I want to go to all of the different people that have made these songs, Jethro Bradley and DJ Physic, Joseph Woodward, who has made a bunch of different songs. I want to go to all of them and say, are you up for us putting together an album and putting it on Spotify? And I don't know what it would be called exactly. We would need a name for the album. But I want to put the entire thing together on Spotify so that all of these songs are available to you guys. I think that would be great. And then once we do that, I would love to have Anthony Fantano review the songs. I think that there's a lot here. 1,000 Mics is an idea that's being proposed for the album name. Malarkey is another idea. Yeah, I'm open to different ideas. Love songs for a new age. Yeah, I don't know if that would be. Maybe just David Pakman Show Greatest Hits Volume 1. I don't know. Elements of Music, actually. I like that. That's maybe the best one so far. But that's my idea. I would love to do something like that. I think it would be really great. Let's see. Jet says that the cat in the video I played is playing with the buttons on my shirt. That may be. That may be. Many, many super chats coming in. Julian says, do you think recordings of Trump phone calls with foreign leaders will be investigated? I bet there's many more like the phone call to Ukraine. Well, the Ukraine phone call was a perfect phone call from what I recall. I don't know. The dude says, has anyone done a tracking of the spikes of coronavirus in relation to the Trump rallies? I find it hard to believe they don't mirror each other. Yeah, so one study from Stanford looked at just 18 specific rallies and found that those led to 30,000 cases and 700 deaths that they know about. So Trump did far more than 18 rallies. So my estimate would be that a few thousand deaths, a couple thousand, 1,500 to 3,000 deaths could be traced to Trump rallies. Now, of course, a lot of those deaths were not people that went to the rallies. They were people that later got the virus from those who went to the rally, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure you guys understand sort of that. That's how that works. Okay, I have an update on subscriber numbers. We just got 61 more website subscribers, which from 32 puts us at 93. We're also counting Twitch subs, and I have 13 more on Twitch, which puts us at 106. Let's go for 306. Why? Because that's the number of electoral votes that Joe Biden now has, which is a which is a great number. People on Twitch asking me about the Samuel Alito video from today. I haven't watched the entire video. I watched the first 30 seconds just to see what it was all about. Then I'll watch the rest of it for Monday. I was shocked by Samuel Alito's physical appearance. I didn't even recognize him. I thought it was someone introducing Alito. I don't know if any of you guys experienced that, but I had an image of Alito in my head that is dramatically different. And I don't know if he's just aged significantly. I barely recognized the guy. It was very strange. I surprised myself, actually. Okay. What is your thought on the cybersecurity experts that were asked to resign by force and replaced with stooges of Trump? I believe that is just Trump getting people he's been wanting to fire for a while out of the way. I don't think that is part of any kind of big plan to do anything, not because Trump would be morally opposed. Trump's not shown that he's even remotely organized enough to do something like that. And that's why I don't think it is anything more. Tyler Cobb says, thanks for everything. I think you should rename the show the Pac-Man Ultra Show. Could up your anime viewers. Also, do you watch anime? The only thing I've read Akira and I've watched Spirited Away. That's all I've ever seen or read from the standpoint of manga and anime. Some people call it anime. I call it anime. The Sound of Winning is an interesting name for that album. I like that idea. David, say Democrats do take the Senate. What could we expect in terms of health care, public option, or is that too optimistic? Listen, I think let's get the Senate and then we will discuss it. That's the starting point. First, let's get the Senate. I'm being told that Trump tweeted. Let's see what he said. We'll be having a press conference from the Rose Garden in 15 minutes. He tweeted that 7 minutes ago. Okay, 15 minus 7. 15 minus 7 carries 0. 20% of that. 8 minutes from now, we should be seeing Donald Trump out. And so we've got 8 minutes to talk about a few other things with you guys. What am I watching or reading right now? Let's see. Reading, I'm in the middle of Kim Stanley Robinson's California trilogy. The first one is, I would call it almost a perfect book. And getting into the second one, just finished a little bit of which one? I believe it's Locked Doors. I've been reading all of Blake Crouch's work. We had him on the show not that long ago, and we talked about, I think it was Dark Matter. He wrote Recursion, which is excellent. Recursion is just awesome. And I've just been reading some of his older stuff. And as far as nonfiction, I'm reading Michael Pollan's In Defense of Food, which is not new. I just haven't read it for a while. And watching, I've just watched two. Okay, so for nonfiction, there's this great 4-episode series on Netflix, a true crime series from Argentina called The Death. I believe it's called in English, The Death of Maria Marta. It's about a murder from the year 2001 in Argentina. Really, really good. And nonfiction on Netflix, I've been watching 4 Seasons in Havana, which is a Cuban sort of anthology series. The 4 episodes, they're each 90 minutes long. They're all related with the same characters, but you could watch them in any order. And they're based on stories by the great Cuban author Leonardo Padura. Excellent, excellent author. And it's not 4 Seasons Landscaping, importantly. It's 4 Seasons in Havana, and it is excellent, excellent. Not for children. Aggressive, okay? Very, very aggressive. Not for children. That's what I've got going right now. No, not Paluda. Padura. Okay, good. All right, updated. Okay, people are saying I signed up and you didn't thank me, David. Everybody's mad. Okay, we're at 102. That's plus 41. 41 website members puts us at 147. And thanks to some really strong gifted subs from I'm Inconsolable, we're at 2536 on Twitch, which is 161. Yeah, so recently David Chadman and Spudnik have been gifting a lot of subs on Twitch, but they still can't even come close to the 435 subs that I'm Inconsolable has gifted on Twitch. Just not even remotely close. And it's no insult to them. It's just shocking, the number of gifted subs from I'm Inconsolable, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, that was a big diversion, I understand. Let me get to a couple of other super chats. Mary says, obviously COVID will be the focus. Do you think Biden will quickly overturn Trump's executive orders like the Muslim ban? Muslim ban is on the list of Biden's day one executive orders. Help me out, chat. But what I believe is currently on Biden's day one executive orders is Muslim ban, overturning, getting back in the WHO. Well, Trump only partially left, so it really means stop leaving. Back in the WHO, overturn Muslim ban, get back in Paris climate, end the military trans ban. What else is on day one executive orders? Yeah, I mentioned Paris Agreement. Maybe deal with some of the, undo some of Trump's loosening of environmental regulations. Yes, that's there as well. And DACA, that's right. Yeah, restart the Dreamer program as well. I think those are all the things that so far were on the day one list, if I recall correctly. Yeah, a lot of EPA environmental stuff, which I think will be really, really important to do. Jeremiah suggests an album name, Bigly Strongly, and Like You've Never Seen Before. I actually think just Bigly Strongly would be interesting. If anybody knows how to put an album on Spotify or has a contact that could help, or you know how to use Google and you can send me a link to how to do it, any of the above, please let me know, because I'm going to reach out to all of our different composers and see if we can do a 2020 album, maybe called Bigly Strongly. I like that idea a lot. Oh, there's a rap artist named Bigly Strongly? I wouldn't want to do that. You just put it on Spotify. Oh, okay, good. All right, but then I'll just do it. Very good. Other super chats coming in. David, do you think Trump will pardon himself? From what I've been reading, he can't do that. Hilarious that Ted Cruz would support Trump's fraud claims when Trump accused Ted Cruz of fraud in 2016. Well, Trump also said Ted Cruz's wife is ugly. So it's shocking that these people have come back anyway. Did anyone notice the cat was playing with the mouse icon? That I didn't see. Thomas says, birthday shout out to my fiance. Happy birthday, Danielle. Yes, absolutely. Very happy birthday to Danielle. Hope that everybody's doing well in the world of Thomas and Danielle. Some Twitch messages coming in. Keep up the good stuff. Thank you. And, I guess that's the only one. Wondering what you thought of, this is Pink and Blonde asking, what did I think of Good Economics for Hard Times? Esther Duflo is the reason I'm pursuing a PhD in economics. We need more women in research positions. Her contributions are inspiring. Fantastic book. I'm trying to get either of the authors. This is a married couple, Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo, who wrote the book Good Economics for Hard Times. Fantastic book. I recommend it. We're going to try to get one of them on the show, and fantastic book. Absolutely fantastic book. Can't beat it. Many Asians, hold on, what was that? I missed that. Where did it go? Many Asian and Chinese Americans supported Trump for his stance on the CCP. Do you think Biden will have a good strategy when it comes to China? Oh my God, is that Dr. Birx? Is Birx back? That's wild. I think Biden knows 1,000 times more about China than Trump does, and I think Biden's going to be fine on China. Absolutely fine on China. David checked Trump's Twitter, says Kelsey. We did. I'm guessing that was sent after I checked it, or before I did, but we'll be having a press conference in 15 minutes. That was 15 minutes ago, so I think we're going to see Trump very, very soon here. I'm happy I found this channel. A Very Nasty Mixtape by Pacman and Friends. That's not a bad idea for the album. I like that. Do I think Skin Snatcher McConnell will change hosts this administration. This current one is starting to molt. Some doctors wrote to me, and I don't want to spread anything unconfirmed, but doctors wrote to me and they said, Mitch McConnell really didn't look good with his purple hands, that it was like, it could be something very serious. They're not saying anything. I don't think it makes sense to speculate beyond that, but I think it would be interesting to know if the Senate Majority Leader is very ill. Is that, oh dear God, is that Pence? Oh, they're bringing out the cavalry guys, so this could be pretty weaponized. We'll have to wait and see. And they're all remaining standing? No, they're sitting now. Yeah, any moment now we're expecting to hear from Donald Trump. If you are just joining us, in all seriousness, if you're watching on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button. In the last 28 days, we brought in 82,000 new YouTube subscribers. They seemed like cartoonish numbers. We are 82,000 subscribers bigger today than we were 28 days ago. We've never had a 28-day period like this. Let's keep it going. We also have never had a better 30 days on Twitch than the last month. So just thank you to everybody. And my goal is let's get in a good position for the new year when we might actually have an opportunity to make some things happen with Trump out. It's going to be pretty spicy stuff. Other super chats call it the David Trackman show. Chakaseki says best anime is Legends of the Galactic Heroes, a truly phenomenal show about political intrigue, demagogues, and difficulty of sustaining democracy. Nice. Asking about the NPVIC, I'm in favor of it. I probably have 5 or 10 clips on YouTube about it, so definitely check those out. I should watch other Miyazaki movies. They're all masterpieces. Yeah, I really should. How's the weather in New England? It's rainy and chilly. Rainy and chilly today. Your channel has twice the amount of viewers of the official White House channel. Is that true? Let's see. We have 84th. We might actually hit our all-time record for live viewers today. I don't think we've ever gotten past 86,000 on YouTube. We're at 84 right now. The Trump White House channel has 36,000 viewers on YouTube. We have 84,000. That's insane. That's almost 3 times the audience of Trump. That's crazy. All right, here he is, folks. Let's, could be one of the last times we see him. Could be leaving the White House for good and Thanksgiving, Christmas, who knows?
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's beautiful out here this time of year. In the past 9 months, my administration has initiated the single greatest mobilization in U.S. history, pioneering, developing, and manufacturing therapies and vaccines in record time. Numbers like nobody's seen before.
Nothing's happened
No
yet.
medical breakthrough of this scope and magnitude has ever been achieved this rapidly, this quickly, and we're very proud of it, and I had tremendous help from the military, generals, admirals, and many of the great people at the White House. Operation Warp Speed is unequaled and unrivaled anywhere in the world, and leaders of other countries have called me to congratulate us on what we've been able to do.
They have not, dude. Come on.
Many countries with their ventilators and all of the problems they were
Still
having.
telling
and
that
I'd
lie.
like to congratulate everyone involved in this effort. It's been an incredible effort. As a result of Operation Warp Speed, Pfizer announced on Monday that its China
Pfizer
virus
didn't take
vaccine
money
is
from
more than
Operation Warp
90%
Speed.
effective. This far exceeds any and all expectations.
They didn't take money
Nobody
from
thought
that
they'd
program.
get to that level. And we have others coming which we think will be at equal level, maybe more if that's possible. In July, my administration reached an agreement with Pfizer to provide $1.95 billion to support the mass manufacturing and distribution of 100 million
Pfizer
doses.
said they took none of his
The
money.
option to purchase a total of 600 million doses shortly thereafter. Our
They'll sell
investment
you
will make it
vaccines,
possible
sure.
for the vaccine to be provided by Pfizer free of charge.
That's a different
Pfizer
story.
said it wasn't part of Warp Speed, but that turned out to be a unfortunate misrepresentation. They are a part. That's why we gave them the $1.95 billion. And
An agreement to buy vaccines in the future is not participating. That these are different things.
an emergency use authorization, which should be coming down extremely soon, and my administration will then coordinate the distribution of the vaccine, and it will be approved. I think, again, it will be approved very, very quickly, we hope. The average development timeline for the vaccine, including clinical tests and manufacturing, can take 8 to 12 years. Through Operation Warp Speed, we're doing it in less than 1 year. If you had a different administration with different people, what we've done would have taken, in my opinion, 3, 4, 5 years.
He's acting like he hasn't lost.
Been in the FDA forever.
It's bizarre.
This is 5 times faster than the fastest prior vaccine development in history. 5 times faster. Say it again, 5 times faster. Nobody can believe it, actually. 3 other vaccines are also in the final stages of trial. They'll arrive within a few weeks, and they will also be mass-produced, and the delivery will be very rapid.
I'll believe it when Fauci says it, you know?
The vaccine will be distributed to frontline workers, the elderly, and high-risk Americans immediately. It will be a matter of weeks. Get out very, very much ahead of schedule. Any schedule that I said we're going to be far ahead of that.
What?
We know that this virus primarily targets older populations and those with underlying health conditions, while over 99.98% of those under the age of 50 make a full and quick recovery. By giving the vaccine to high-risk individuals right away, we'll dramatically reduce hospitalizations and deaths.
He does seem to be acting like he'll be president when this stuff will go
high,
on.
But a lot of the case levels are high because of the fact that we have the best testing program anywhere in the world. We've developed the most and the best tests, and we test far more than any other country, so it shows, obviously, more cases. By vaccinating the elderly and the high risk, we will effectively end this phase of the pandemic and allow seniors to reclaim their golden years, the golden years of their lives, which is so incredible. And it's about time that they can have those golden years. Again, this process is starting right away. Millions of doses will soon be going out the door.
He's been saying that for a year.
We're all ready, waiting for that final approval. As soon as April, the vaccine will be available to the entire general population.
April?
With the exception of places like New York State, where, for political reasons, the governor decided to say, and you know, I don't think it's good politically. I think it's very bad from a health standpoint. But he wants to take his time on the vaccine. He doesn't trust where the vaccine's coming from. These are coming from the greatest companies anywhere in the world, greatest labs in the world. But he doesn't trust the fact that it's this White House, this administration. So we won't be delivering it to New York until we have authorization to do so. And that pains me to say that. This is a very successful, amazing vaccine at 90% and more. But so the Governor Cuomo, will have to let us know when he's ready for it. Otherwise, we can't be delivering it to a state that won't be giving it to its people immediately.
People.
And I know the people of New York very well. I know they want it. So the governor will let us know when he's ready. He's had some very bad editorials.
Doesn't sound like a concession speech, guys.
Statement and what's happened with respect to nursing homes and his handling of nursing homes. And I hope he doesn't handle this as badly as he's handled the nursing homes. But we're ready to provide it as soon as they let us know that they'll actually use it. And again, it's a very safe and a great vaccine.
Perfect
Already
vaccine.
we have among the lowest case fatality rates our country anywhere in the world, the entire world.
It's like he lost an election, he's still telling the exact same lies.
Countries. As far as therapeutics are concerned, my administration's also made critical investments in therapies that have helped reduce the mortality rate by 85%. That's, to me, one of the most exciting things. It's incredible, some of the
really exciting
antibody vaccines
virus
and others that have come out and have really helped people. 85%. Last month, the FDA approved remdesivir, and we've secured enough remdesivir to treat 850,000 patients. My administration finalized.
Didn't we figure out remdesivir is not quite so good?
To purchase the first doses of their antibody therapy, which shows amazing results. This treatment will be available completely free of cost to patients. 5,000 units have already been shipped, and many more are going out the door as we speak. We're also reached an agreement with AstraZeneca for the large-scale manufacturing of their antibody treatment, which is excellent. We expect to issue emergency use authorizations for a number of additional treatments in the near future. Tremendous promise, but remember the 85% number. That's an incredible.
Right. Remember that lie.
We have some tremendously promising
Don't forget it.
drugs online and ready to come out. We have ensured that our frontline workers have all the tools they need. My administration's invoked the Defense Production Act and related authorities over 100 times and have made a historic investment into our industrial base. All states that requested PPE from the federal government have received the PPE almost immediately upon request. Every American who needed a ventilator has had access to a ventilator. Think of that. Very complicated piece of equipment, very expensive. And we haven't had one person in this whole country that has requested or needed a ventilator that hasn't had it. Every single request has been immediately filled.
There's places now out of
It was a
PPE.
great job, and now we're helping the rest of the world with ventilators because it's a very hard thing. We're producing them thousands of ventilators a month. The federal government has 22,000 beds immediately available for states and jurisdictions that need additional capacity, but we think that it's going to start going down, possibly very quickly. We'll see what happens, but with the vaccine, you'll see numbers going down within a matter of months, and they'll go down very rapidly. As we continue to combat the virus, our economy is rebounding far beyond any expectations. I see the stock market's up almost 400 points today again, and it's ready to break the all-time record. Our jobs records are incredible. The job numbers are incredible. In
Do
the
you think
last
he
6
believes
months,
this
we've
stuff?
created over 13 million jobs and slashed the unemployment rate by more than half. Last quarter, we witnessed the fastest economic growth ever recorded in the history of our country, 33.1%. It's a number that is more than double our highest. That was in 1952, and we've more than doubled it. The United States experienced the smallest economic contraction and the most rapid economic recovery of any major Western nation. We went down less and we went up more, which is quite a combination of facts.
That's a serious
While
combination.
healthy Americans have gone back to work and to school, we continue to spare no expense to protect the elderly and the vulnerable.
Yeah, but did you win?
According to some estimates, a national lockdown costs $50 billion a day and hundreds of thousands of jobs every single day. Ideally, we won't go to a lockdown. I will not go. This administration will not be going to a lockdown. Hopefully, the whatever happens in the future, who knows which administration it will be. I guess time will tell. But
You guys see that,
I
right?
can tell you this administration will not go to a lockdown.
Whatever happens,
Be necessity. Lockdowns
we will see.
cost lives, and they cost a lot
He almost accidentally conceded there.
cannot be, you got to remember, it cannot be worse than the problem itself, and I've said it many times. And when you look at what happens during a lockdown, I just say it very loudly. It's horrible what happens with drugs, alcohol, depression, loss of jobs, business closures. It's a terrible thing. So this administration will not go, under any circumstances, will not go to a lockdown, but will be very vigilant, very careful.
Yeah.
We understand the disease. It's a complicated disease, but we understand it very well. We ask all Americans to remain vigilant, especially as the weather gets colder and it becomes more difficult to go outside and to have outside gatherings. And with that, I just want to ask some very talented people to come up and say a few words. General Perna and Dr. Slaoui have been incredible. The general is really getting started right now, but he's really what we don't know and what people don't know. He started putting this all together 6 months ago, and you're going to see some real action. So, General, maybe you'll start it off, and then, Doctor, you'll go right after that. Thank you very much, and then we're going to finish it off with Mike Pence. Okay? Thank you. Please.
So, not taking questions very clearly. By the way, we are at 100,000 live viewers on YouTube. We have never hit 100K before. Strong.
Enable and accelerate the development of vaccines and therapeutic to help control the COVID-19 pandemic and save lives. On May 15th, almost 6 months ago to the day, we stated the goal of the operation, which was to have vaccines and therapeutics available and approved for use in the US population by the end of the year 2020. We said then that while very challenging, the goal was credible and therefore was worth trying with the best, our best to achieve it.
This is my only interruption. It's insane that the vaccine that's close to approval was starting to be developed in Germany in January, before this guy was ever brought on, before Trump even accepted there would be a single case in the United States. These are delusions you are being presented here.
If I look at the vaccine side, we've selected a portfolio of 6 vaccines using 3 different platform technologies, and we elected to have 2 vaccines from each platform technology. First platform is what's called messenger RNA, and 2 vaccines using that platform were in the portfolio, one by Pfizer and one by Moderna. The second platform is using what's called live viral vectors, and we had 1 vaccine from J&J and 1 vaccine from AstraZeneca in partnership with Oxford University. And the third platform was the recombinant protein platform with 1 vaccine from a biotech company here in the US called Novavax, and another one from a partnership between Sanofi and GlaxoSmithKline. These vaccines are now, 6 vaccines are all in the clinical development stages, and 4 of them are in phase 3 trials. And of the 4 that are in phase 3 trials, 2 have effectively completed enrollment in the phase 3 trial, and one of the 2 has announced on Monday, to I think thrilling information, that they had 90% efficacy. That was the Pfizer vaccine, demonstrating that vaccination is possible against COVID-19, that the kind of choices we have made in terms of the antigen selected was effective and made us optimistic that other vaccine may also be effective. On Wednesday, the same week, just this Wednesday, Moderna, the other company with the vaccine using similar platform technology, messenger RNA, announced that they have achieved the number of cases in their trial to allow for a first interim analysis. And I would expect that shortly, probably next week, we may hear what I hope to be another very good information regarding an efficacious vaccine. The 2 other vaccines that are in phase 3 trial that are using the live vector platform, the J&J vaccine and the AstraZeneca vaccine, have recruited already a few thousand subjects in their trials. I would like to take this opportunity to invite as many Americans as possible who would like to volunteer to participate in these trials, as that's the only way we are able to achieve a demonstration of the safety and the efficacy of these vaccines. The last 2 vaccines, the recombinant protein vaccines, are planned to start their phase 3 trials within the next few weeks. And while we are developing this vaccine, we haven't only looked at the clinical development, of course, in partnership with the companies that are the sponsors for the vaccine. We also invested very significantly in the manufacturing of this vaccine in such a way as to, when we have the clinical efficacy demonstration with these vaccines, we would also have vaccine doses to be able to immunize the US population.
Where's Fauci?
So the 2 vaccines that are completing their phase 3 trial are likely to be filing their files with the FDA for a potential emergency use authorization within the next few weeks. And hopefully, if approved, they could be used for immunization in the US population in the month of December. And we plan to have enough vaccine doses available for use in the US population to immunize about 20 million individuals in the month of December, and another 25 to 30 million per month on an ongoing basis from there on.
That seems realistic.
And as of the month of February or March, if we have more vaccines approved, such as the live vectored vaccine, we may be able to immunize a larger number of Americans.
Like, we're actually getting specific numbers, which I appreciate.
Basis per month. Operation Warp Speed didn't only focus on vaccines. We also looked at therapeutics, and we have worked with a number of companies developing monoclonal antibodies in particular that are able to neutralize the virus. As Mr. President said, we have announced partnerships with Eli Lilly, with Regeneron, and with AstraZeneca. And on Monday, Eli Lilly's monoclonal antibody was granted an emergency use authorization to treat patients that are infected and at risk of hospitalization. The Regeneron monoclonal antibodies have been also filed for emergency use authorization, which is currently under review and is potentially reaching approval within the next few weeks. And finally, AstraZeneca just in the last few days has received a green light to start 2 large phase 3 trials with their monoclonal antibodies supported by Operation Warp Speed to prevent the acquisition of COVID-19 disease in very frail subjects or in very high-risk subjects as a protective alternative to a vaccine. So, potentially 2 vaccines and 2 therapeutics may be granted an emergency use authorization before the end of this year. I think it's a remarkable achievement within a period of 6 to 7 months. It is important to note that this progress has been achieved without any political interference. I said it many times. And at every step has been...
Well, the interference has been pushing for early EUAs rather than just letting things run their course.
Trials, or whether when the data safety monitoring boards review the safety of the studies on an ongoing basis and sometimes put them on hold, as I'm sure you have witnessed with the AstraZeneca vaccine, for instance. And these same data safety monitoring boards are the independent boards of experts that analyze the efficacy of the vaccines and the safety of the vaccines and tell the companies whether they should progress with the filing of an emergency use authorization or not. So it's not the companies, it's not Operation Warp Speed, it's not the US government, it is independent experts that assess the safety and the efficacy of the vaccines that are being tested. And when the FDA will review these vaccines and these therapeutics, they will also have the advice, public advice, from boards. One of them is called the VRPAC, that is the advisory board to the FDA for vaccine reviews. After review of the data, transparently and available to everybody to look into, before the FDA then make its decision to either authorize a vaccine or not authorize it. On that basis, I personally feel very comfortable to say that the vaccines and the therapeutics that we have helped develop and accelerate will be judged independently, and if approved, should be used by all in the population. Because I believe vaccination is likely to be the cornerstone among all the other measures that we have to take.
Well, yeah.
To help us really control this pandemic. I will now pass to my co-leader, General Perna, who will tell you more about the support that the operation has provided to...
I wonder if Trump's even there.
The vaccine and also to their distribution.
I wonder if Trump left while this was going on to later not have questions yelled at him. I mean, I just have no idea.
Mr. President, thank you for allowing me to continue service of our great nation as the co-leader with Dr. Moncef Slaoui on this mission. Let me start by emphasizing for me, what is Operational Warp Speed about? It is about saving lives. And it is a Herculean task that the President put us on many months ago. And as Dr. Slaoui just laid out, we are making steady progress and we are ready to execute. Through the whole of American approach.
It's like the whole cast has been replaced now.
In federal government, local, states, industry, and academia to expand the capacity and capability to achieve our mission. It has been powerful. We have capitalized on the best contracting, logistics, and planning experts available to synchronize and integrate all phases of the operation, from development of the vaccine, manufacturing of the vaccine, and finally distribution of the vaccine. 6 months ago, the capacity did not exist in our nation's pharmaceutical production base. We went to work building brick and mortar manufacturing facilities, bringing in the right specialized machinery and equipment, and prioritizing supply chain materials through the Defense Production Act. Today, we expect to have tens of millions of doses immediately following EUA, and we will distribute them as soon as the FDA applies the EUA.
Okay.
We will do that within 24 hours of the EUA. We are harnessing the strength of commercial industry and the existing vaccine delivery capabilities and infrastructure. Our nation deserves this. Vaccines will be allocated pro rata by population so that we ensure fair and equitable across. We need the states who are part of the planning to accept the vaccine.
Pro rata.
We are working closely along with the CDC, the 64 jurisdictions and states to ensure vaccine can safely and quickly get to those who need it first. And then we have plans to ensure that it spreads exponentially across our country and that no place is left without a vaccine. At the end of the day, our success is going to be judged by the availability of the vaccine as shots go in arms. It is the partnerships we have formed with the pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer and Moderna, distribution companies like McKesson, FedEx, and UPS, and pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens that have agreed to do things differently, to think, how can we get this to the American people in the most rapid and expeditious way?
Yeah, it does feel like this is an event they put together to sort of make Trump feel a little bit better.
America approach, this collaboration, this effort that everybody is leading towards. I will end where I started. This is about saving lives, the lives of the great American people. And we will not rest until we are successful and that we have irreversible momentum to returning our nation back to normal. Thank you, Mr. President.
Wow.
Thank you, General, very much. Great job. Alex, please.
Oh, this is Alex Azar now, Secretary of HHS and a real sycophant.
Thank you, Mr. President, for providing the leadership that's gotten us where we are today.
Here we go.
The success that Operation Warp Speed has realized so far has been made possible only because of the bold vision you announced not even 6 months ago, right here in the Rose Garden. To highlight 3 of the remarkable accomplishments we've seen just this week. First, Pfizer announced very promising data on its vaccine candidate. Second, the FDA authorized and we have begun to distribute and administer Eli Lilly's monoclonal antibody to help Americans at risk for serious disease stay out of the hospital. Third, another vaccine company, Moderna, announced that it's reached a critical clinical trial milestone, meaning we may see data from them within days. Back in the spring, we were told by all of the experts that a vaccine was a year or a year and a half away, and the announcements I just highlighted would have been unthinkable.
If most people can't get it till May or June, and they started in February, that's more than a year away.
Effective vaccine to our most vulnerable this year. As I worked with the president to assemble this team and organize this effort, his support was indispensable at each step of the way. We went out and found the very best people on the planet to do the job, who you just talked with. Dr. Slaoui, the world's most successful vaccine developer. General Perna, one of the world's most qualified logistics leaders. When I first talked to Dr. Slaoui and General Perna about our goals and recruited them to this effort, we dreamed of being at the point we're at today, on track to achieve the incredibly ambitious goal we set together. The president gave us the full financial support we
I'm
needed.
sorry to keep interrupting, but this is worthless trash. Trump promised 100 million doses in October. It's like, what happened to the 100 million doses in October, guys?
Our completely unprecedented partnership with the Defense Department has given us a comprehensive public-private plan for distribution and helped each Operation Warp Speed vaccine maker secure what they needed for manufacturing, including Pfizer's ongoing production this week. Operation Warp Speed has always had one goal: saving lives. The president has given OWS the independence it needs to achieve that goal and ensure that we're following the procedures that Americans expect for any medical product they take. At every step, ensuring patient safety has been our top priority. This process has been driven solely by science and data. So it's a shame that some, one example being the governor of New York, have actually injected politics into the process and suggested the possibility of intentionally
Not sure
delaying
I'd use that
access
word.
to an FDA-authorized vaccine, which is simply unconscionable. Because the president has delivered the full funding we need, the best people on the planet, and real independence for this project, Operation Warp Speed is doing something that's never been done before in history. This success means there is light at the end of the tunnel. Right now is not the time to let our guard down. We continue to encourage Americans to follow the 3 W's. Wash your hands, watch your distance, wear a mask when you can't watch your distance, and avoid settings where you can't do those things. Because of the incredible American spirit, because of what great scientists and public servants and innovators have done through Operation Warp Speed, we have such a bright future ahead of us. If we continue to protect ourselves, our families, and our communities, then I firmly believe that future will be here very soon. Thank you, Mr. President, for making that very bright future possible for the American people.
All right.
Thank you. Mike Pence, please.
Now Mike Pence, and I would be shocked if he takes a single question.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and on behalf of the White House Coronavirus Task Force,
signing off.
I was grateful to just have a few minutes today to commend the team of Operation Warp Speed. It was your vision that we could harness the ingenuity and the creativity of America's greatest pharmaceutical and research companies to speed in record time a vaccine that would save American lives.
Oh, man.
We told the American people that we would have a vaccine before the end of the year, and some scoffed at that timetable. But I can tell you the team on Operation Warp Speed didn't. These great research companies didn't. And as you've articulated here, Mr. President, the American people can be comforted with all the news this week that help is on the way, that literally pending FDA approval of the Pfizer vaccine and perhaps very soon another vaccine that will be submitted by Moderna and even other companies that before the year is out, we'll be able to administer a vaccine to tens of millions of Americans, as you've said, Mr. President, beginning with those most vulnerable, beginning with our seniors all across this country, beginning with our healthcare workers and first responders at the point of the need. It is an unprecedented medical mobilization, the greatest in the history of our country. And I join you in commending this team.
You're so great,
Let
Mr.
me also
President.
say, Mr. President, that the White House Coronavirus Task Force will be meeting with our nation's governors in our regular conference call this Monday. We'll be reviewing with them the progress on the development of a vaccine, our plans for distribution, but we'll also be reviewing each and every state's specific plans for distributing the vaccine. Continue to urge governors to have those plans developed and prepared and ready for immediate implementation. And finally, Mr. President, as we see cases rising around the country, as we see hospitalizations rising around the country.
Oh, he admits that. Okay.
I want to encourage the American people with the news that as we have done from the very beginning, we're going to continue to move heaven and earth to make sure that your family has access to the level of health care that we'd want any one of our members.
When he says your, he means Trump's family, just so you guys know.
Today, and as we heard reported at our last task force meeting, Mr. President, we're receiving requests from states for PPE, for personnel, but we're meeting all of those requests. And according to our team on the ground, we continue to believe that we'll be able to meet the requests for PPE and equipment, both from the Strategic National Stockpile, also from the commercial market, to make sure that those needs are all met.
Right.
And the American people can also be confident because of the system that you established that since this past July, we're actually able to track PPE, gowns and gloves and N95 masks on a hospital-by-hospital basis. So we can continue to deliver, as you said, Mr. President.
Trump implemented that?
Extraordinary record in America where no American who's ever required a ventilator has ever been denied a ventilator. No American who's ever required an ICU bed.
Yeah, the audience of this presentation from Pence is Trump. This is not useful to the media.
Speed, Mr. President, his help is on the way. It's on the way right around the corner. As one of the members of our task force said recently, the cavalry is coming, but we want to encourage every American.
Let's see if he takes questions. I say no.
Our healthcare system has the resources to support the equipment and supplies that they need. And we also, Mr. President, as we see cases rising, particularly in the heartland of this country, but in communities all across America, we encourage every American, as the Secretary did and as you have, continue to practice good hygiene, wash your hands, practice social distancing, wear a mask when that's not possible. We all have a role to play. We all know what to do to protect the vulnerable, to look after our families and our neighbors and friends, and we encourage every American, with all the good news this week, to continue to be persistent in putting the health of yourself, your family, your neighbors, co-workers.
Kind of phoning it in.
And we'll get through this, and we'll get through this together. Thank you, Mr.
With a different president, though.
And thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
And there it is. Who's clapping? Will you admit you lost the election? That's beautiful. And off they go. Okay, so there it is. Why don't we take a few phone calls? Everybody's been so great supporting. We just hit 100,000 live viewers during that on YouTube. That's never happened before, 100,000. So if you're headed out, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that in the future you'll be notified when I go live. What's going on here? This is strange. Thought this was going to keep going. Yeah. And if you're heading out, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, etc. But I would love to hear from some of you guys. davidpakman.com/discord is the place. If you want to talk to me, get into the waiting lobby. Very strong stream. And so I want to go right to the phones. I know some folks will leave, but I would love for you to stay. We're going to hear from some of our viewers, hopefully all over the world. Remember, you go to davidpakman.com/discord. You get into the waiting lobby, and then you change your nickname to location:name. Location:name. That's the way that it works. Let's go first, powerfully and directly, to Amy in Ohio. Amy in Ohio, you're on the air. Amy in Ohio, please unmute. You are on the air.
Hello?
Yes, that's you.
Hello?
Yes, that's you, Amy. You are on the air.
I was...
Riveting stuff. Amy, it sounds like you're probably listening on YouTube or Twitch instead of in Discord, but you've got to listen in Discord, remember. Let's go next to Emilio in Lawrence. Emilio in Lawrence, you're on the air.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's going on?
What's going on, David? Greetings
How are
from
you?
Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Greetings.
Well, I'm actually in LA, so I'm telling a little bit of a lie, but I'm from Lawrence, so
Beautiful.
I just wanted to throw that Massachusetts connection.
Love it.
I had a question that's not necessarily related to any of this crazy election fraud stuff. I had
Sure.
a question about Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear what your thought was. You know, flipping Georgia, in addition to Arizona, those are really big deals. And a lot of that was because of the minority vote, community support. And so I was wondering if through additional support, we might be able to see a blue wave in the South. Like if that's a flash in the pan, what happened in Georgia, or could it
There's no way to answer that. I mean, every election, anytime there's a flip or a state, everybody starts to project, well, if you look at demographic changes, then this, or if you look at changes to the party platform, then that. I mean, we just have to do the work, and I prefer to take it a step at a time. So step one is, can we take these Senate seats in Georgia? That should be the focus for the next 7 weeks or however long it is. We'll think about flipping more seats, for 2022 and beyond.
Right, but we have, and I don't want to take too much time, but we have like Yang going down there. So
Yeah, which I love.
Definitely like investment happening and we're seeing
Absolutely.
tangible change. So yeah, thanks, man.
All right. Thank you. Very much appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. That's really the only way to go. Let's go next to Kelsey from Colorado. Kelsey from Colorado, you're on the air. Kelsey, you're on the air. Kelsey, you've got to unmute if you would like to talk to me. You are on the air, though. That's too bad. I was looking forward to hearing from Kelsey. Let's go instead to, where are we going instead? There's just a lot of people trying to get on here. Why don't we go to, Let's go to Kyle from upstate New York. Kyle from upstate New York, you're on the air. And Kyle bailed. Oh, my God. Let's go to Tomas from my birth city of Buenos Aires.
Oh, hi, David.
Tomas, bienvenido.
Hi. I've been following you for a while.
Are you American or Argentinian?
I'm from Argentina. I live in Argentina.
Wow, you have beautiful English.
Thanks. I've never lived in the U.S.
Wow.
It's just games.
That's
I wanted
shocking.
to ask you.
Yeah.
What do you think about all the people that like live in Argentina but support Trump, not knowing like kind of projecting the left and right from Argentina onto the U.S.?
Yeah, my mom was telling me the other day that she had a friend who lives in Argentina. She doesn't really pay that much attention to politics, but she just said, "Oh, you're not voting for Trump? I mean, it seems like he's sort of doing okay, but it's people who are they're basically tuned out. They don't really seem to know what's going on. I mean, I don't know what to think, to be honest. It's, there's a lot of Americans who have no idea what's going on politically in any other country. It's not that notable that people in Argentina might not really understand what's going on in the U.S. It's not hugely surprising.
I see. The thing is that it bothers me because I see Argentina supports Trump trending in Argentina like every 2 weeks.
Oh, I haven't. That's interesting. I've never, I watch a lot of Argentinian news every day, and I've never seen it mentioned at all. It must be an online thing.
Yeah, it's just Twitter.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's uninformed people. I know this is hard to imagine, Tomas, and it's difficult for me to accept, but even in Argentina, there are some uninformed people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even more uninformed people.
Hey, as far as dulce de leche, what's the top brand right now that you would recommend?
I just take La Serenísima. I don't know. I'm not really a dulce de leche person.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and the other day I heard you say that you prefer chicken milanesa over.
Absolutely. Night and day.
I just hate you now. I have to unsubscribe.
Really? Then how did you know I was live?
Bye-bye.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thank you. That one wrapped up quick. That turned around real quick. Let's go to, that's what we call unsubscribe trolls. Unsubscribe trolls. Very, very familiar with that. We've experienced it. It can be a mind virus. It can be a mind virus. Let me go next to, okay, a lot of people liking that one. Why don't we go next to, I would like to go, oh, this is interesting. Let's go to Caitlin from Alaska. Caitlin from Alaska, you're on the air. I know that guy was kidding, by the way. I know we were both kidding. Caitlin from Alaska, though, I would love to hear from you if you can unmute yourself.
How do I unmute?
You just did.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Hi. So not a lot of people touch on Alaska politics. I think you're one of the few people I've actually heard talk or even mention the name of any of our politicians.
Absolutely.
Aside from, unfortunately, Sarah Palin.
Right.
So yesterday, it was reported that Don Young has COVID-19. And I'm not somebody who wishes that on anyone.
Right.
I don't think anybody is.
You're not a sociopath, yeah.
But what happens if he does die after his reelection? Does the Republican Party then put somebody else up to take his place? Or how does that work?
Let me see. So the only complexity would be, okay, so he won, but he wouldn't be sworn in to the current. He wouldn't be sworn in until the next session starts in January. So right now, it's really still his previous term. So would someone be selected by the governor just for the rest of this term, and then there would be a special election? I don't know the answer to that. There's complicated timing, because if it were after he's actually sworn in for the next term, I think it would be different.
So what happens if it's after someone's sworn in?
If it's after sworn in, the governor appoints someone, and then there's a special election.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. I appreciate the phone call. Great to hear from you. Let's go next to let's go to Andre from Italy. Andre from Italy, you're on the air. Where in Italy are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes,
We
you're
are
on the air.
here in Rome.
Rome. Wow, I love Rome.
Yeah, it's me and my girlfriend. We watch all the time. We're studying here in an American university. We're doing international global politics.
Are you Italian or are you American?
No. Well, I'm actually Russian, but my girlfriend here is American Iranian. Say hi.
Hello. Good. All
Can you
right.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, we're here in Rome. We're international political science students.
Love it. Well, what's on your mind today?
She actually asked the question, not me.
Oh, okay.
So I have a question about actually your thoughts on the recent UAE deal. As an American Iranian, the UAE deal and a lot of Trump's politics in the Middle East has been aggressive towards Iran. So I wanted to know your opinion on the recent developments in the region.
To be perfectly frank, I think it's much ado about nothing. It's, Trump, of course, falsely claimed he has 5 and even 10 more peace deals coming. I don't think he could name that many countries in the region even. I think that it's not, I think the proof is in the following. When the deal happened, there were all sorts of people saying this just secured Trump's reelection. Nobody talked about it. It barely even, I don't even know that it came up in a single debate. It was really much ado about nothing geopolitically and from the standpoint of the U.S. And, he lost and he's not going to be doing 5 more peace deals and he's not going to be doing 10 more peace deals.
Yeah. I would definitely agree. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us on. We've been calling in for a while.
Long-time viewers, first-time callers.
Glad you were able to get on today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Wow. Perfect phone call from Italy. Let's go next back to Buenos Aires. Let's go to Flavio from Buenos Aires.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Flavio?
Not sure if you can hear me or not. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? You're on the air right now.
Okay, so sorry, I'm just gonna talk. I cannot hear you, but everybody seems to be hearing me anyway. The only thing I wanted to say is, by the way, I'm from Buenos Aires. I live in Seattle now.
Oh.
One thing that I'm concerned is about if you read the article by Barton Gellman. I know you did because you did a show about that. It's sort of playing right now, but everybody seems to be discarding the possibility of a coup by Trump, essentially by the Republicans enabling him without conceding the election. I just wanted to know what your thoughts are around that.
So you're talking about the elector coup strategy, right?
Right, essentially delaying the certification by any means necessary, come safe harbor date, present competing sets of electors by both parties, then having Mike Pence being the one who decides which electors count.
Well, the thing is that there's some complexity to it because I'm not sure does Mike Pence get to decide which electors count? I mean, I understand the idea that you could get state legislatures to send different electors. I don't think it will happen, but I'm less familiar with how Mike Pence gets to decide which electors count.
Yeah, so it will have to be. It's definitely unclear. I'm not an expert by reading a couple articles. There's that article. Then there's the countguide.com, which sort of explains the same.
Yeah.
It will have to be in the presence of the House. Obviously, at that point, Nancy Pelosi would walk out and not provide quorum. So we will have a constitutional crisis. But I don't know. I just feel that a lot of people are just ignoring this as it cannot happen, it cannot happen. But
Well, I
would
don't
rather
think
err
we don't have
on the
to
side of
ignore
caution.
it. I think it's fine to understand it. But, I think Joe Biden's going to be inaugurated on January 20th. I really do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Are a
Pero
lot of
bueno, muy
Argentinians in
muy lindo
Seattle?
escucharte. No, no muchos. Hay algunos.
Sí.
Conozco algunos, pero no tantos.
¿Se pueden conseguir sándwiches de miga ahí?
Creo que en Federal Way, que es como una hora al sur de Seattle. En Seattle.
Wow. Hay que
Sí,
tener
sí.
ganas.
Extraño los sándwiches de miga, extraño el helado, la pizza,
Claro.
los chinchulines.
Buenos saludos. Muchas gracias.
Igualmente.
Ciao. All right. So tough to get sándwiches de miga there in Seattle. Let's go next. Oh, this should be very interesting. Let's go to Madalena from Romania. Madalena from Romania.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I wasn't expecting to be picked, but I haven't been. It's the first time I actually viewed your stream
Wow.
and viewed anything from your channel.
And you're already on the air with me. That's crazy.
Well, I just searched live streams and I saw the one with Trump speaking, and I wanted to see what.
That's what I'm counting on. That's a perfect path in. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask what will happen to the mentality of the Trump supporters that voted for him, the 70 million people that voted for Trump. What will happen to their mentality, and how will they take on Joe Biden and his different procedures and ideas in the future? Will they be open to his ideas, or will they still be against him since they are conservatives?
Most of them will be against him. So I think you're going to see Trumpists divided up into a bunch of different groups. You'll get people who never really followed politics before Trump, who will go back to not following politics. You'll see the sort of like Q conspiracy types continue to make conspiracy theories about Joe Biden. You'll see some who will just go back to being kind of normal Republicans, pretending they care about the debt, pretending they care about, who the hell knows what they pretend to care about these days. The 72 million are all going to go in different directions, I think.
I understand.
Yeah.
So Joe Biden will not most likely change most of the people's opinions. I've seen a lot in the footage about in different streams and in different news coverage of very young people chanting and being part of the camp. What attracts them so much about Trump that they are willing to undermine democracy in the same manner that Trump endorses?
Well, you have to understand, a lot of them don't know a thing about undermining democracy. They don't know what the hell is going on. They just see Trump as the leader and they do whatever he says and he can do no wrong. So you're trying to apply a certain amount of critical thinking and saying, wow, look at these people who are constitutional conservatives and yet they see Trump doing this stuff and they ignore. They don't know what the hell they're showing up and chanting, fire Fauci. So these are not people thinking about politics the way you're thinking about it, Madalena?
I understand. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna leave you to ask some other people.
You're going elsewhere. Very good. What's happening?
I'm not
happening
going
in Romania right now?
Right now, I am
You're at work.
working.
Okay.
And I was just taking the time to listen to the Discord channel. That's all.
Wow. Well, thank you. Please call again, Madalena. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure. Very, very nice call there. A lot happening, guys. As you can see, a lot happening. Let's go to Jay from Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Sorry, I'm having to move right quick. I didn't think I'd actually get on the show.
I was as shocked as you were.
So, I love your show.
Thank you.
Obviously not a Trump supporter. Had to leave my office right quick because I'm surrounded by them.
Oh, do they not know? Does your office not know you're not a Trump guy?
Oh, they do. It's it's a very tense situation down here,
Yeah.
and I guess
It could have been triggering for you to do this phone call in front of them, you're saying.
good God, yeah. Also, I'm sorry. I know you're live. I'll try to make sure I don't accidentally say a bad word. My question is, I don't want to keep you too long. How do we get to where America isn't so divided at this point? Like, I don't know how you get someone who's so radicalized, and I'm telling you, they are radicalized down here. It's scary. Where do we go from here once Biden gets in office?
I have no idea. I do not. I have no clue. I mean, you have people who think Biden's a pedophile, for example, and Trump is, fighting pedophilia. I mean, I don't know how you do it. And there's this idea you just give them facts. Well, no, we know that doesn't work. We just know that does not work.
No, it doesn't at all.
That doesn't work.
My cousin is a QAnon conspiracy theorist, and it's like talking to. I don't even know how to describe it.
Well, a caller the other day made an interesting point, and he said, I spent time with a Trump lunatic, a Q conspiracy theorist, and I disabused them of their beliefs. And I said, yeah, how long did they take? They said it took 3 hours on a YouTube stream. So the question is, like, what is the wholesale strategy for doing it to 72 million people?
I mean, I don't even think we have to do it to 72 million.
No, you only need to do it to a fraction. That's a fair point.
And so I just wanted to let everybody know in the world, not everybody from Alabama is, as the stereotype goes. And I voted for Doug Jones and Joe Biden, and I love your show. I'll let someone else get on, but thank you for what you do. It's nice to get news that isn't completely biased and as unbiased as possible.
Well, I was almost in Alabama once because I went to visit my friends in Pensacola, Florida, and we went out on a boat and started boating west. And we got damn close to Alabama waters, but we did turn back just short of it, I will admit.
I mean, there's plenty of good people down here, but it really is. I'm having trouble just trying to describe it now. I had plans on what I was going to say, but it's hard to describe. It's like seeing two realities at once.
Let me ask you this. You know how there's the stereotype of, like, when you go to the third wave coffee shop, you've got LGBT employees and everybody's liberal and all of this different stuff. If you go to such a place in Alabama, is it still like right wingers running it, or does that still exist in a place like Alabama?
That's a good suggestion. So there's a gaming store down here, and it's very LGBTQ friendly and stuff like that, but it is ran by more conservative people.
Interesting.
So I think when it comes to businesses, they're going to be more open and accepting, but then there's still going to be businesses like Chick-fil-A that will fire LGBTQ people or stuff like that.
Which you can legally do in Alabama, right? The LGBT is not a protected employment class. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately. And that's why I'm in my car now.
Got it. Okay, good. Well, listen, very enlightening, and I appreciate the call.
All right. You take care.
All right. You too. Wow. What a call. What a call from Alabama. That is some serious stuff happening there. Let's go next to, so that was Huntsville. Wait, there was another caller that I was sort of thinking of going to. Let me see if I can find them. Where was that? Oh, you know what? Let's go to Nikki from London. I mean, is this London, England, London, Ontario, London, Connecticut?
Hi. Yeah, it's London in England. I'm actually Scottish, but I am calling from London in England, and I can't believe I've got on. It's awesome. Really nice to talk to you.
Likewise. The pleasure is all mine.
Yeah. Wow. One of the things I said, the talk that Trump did today, do you think that's because since President-elect Joe Biden got called on Saturday, there's been a lot of talk in the press about him forming the committee, getting all the scientists together, and how he's really been, tackling COVID, and that it's one of his priorities. And there's been a lot of press around that. And of course, the vaccine has been announced that that's why Trump's come out and done this today, is to kind of try and steal Biden's press about COVID away from him.
It may be. I mean, to me, it felt more like a pity party, to be totally honest with you, Nikki. It seemed sort of like Trump's been hiding for 9 days and they put together, it's almost like, imagine that if you were dealing with someone who wasn't cognitively there, who was it? Oh, I think it was Trump's dad. When Trump's dad had more serious dementia, I think that they set up a phone in Trump's dad's office and it would just go to his receptionist. And he thought he was doing business.
Feel that he was still working.
Exactly. It almost feels like it was the same thing done for Trump today.
But I did notice what you noticed, that at one point it was almost as if he very nearly said the Biden administration.
Yes, he almost accidentally conceded, I think.
Yeah, it really did. So it gives you a little bit of hope.
It does. Hey, listen, I recently watched a show with a terrific Scottish actress, okay? Are you familiar with the actress Kelly MacDonald?
To be fair, when it comes to actors and actresses, unless they're mega famous, I remember real life. I don't remember TV or films. It's my massive weak spot. I've got
Oh my
no
goodness.
idea.
Well, in any case, I will
5 minutes later, I've forgotten it.
I will issue a recommendation. The program Giri Haji on Netflix. Perfect program.
Giri Haji. Could you say it again?
It's Giri / Haji. It's Japanese.
Okay.
And this Scottish actress, Kelly MacDonald, is in it, and it's a tremendous program.
Well, I'll put that on my watch list. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Nikki, a real pleasure.
Talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Wow, guys, what a perfect phone call. Tough to imagine anything that could beat that. So that's going to do it for me. I really appreciate everybody who joined. Make sure on the way out, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free. Follow me on Twitch. It costs nothing. Make sure to give us a like on Facebook, and we'll be back very soon. I may do some streaming of the Million MAGA rally tomorrow. I may not. I don't know what I have going on tomorrow. It's supposed to be a sunny day, so we're going to be doing a lot of vitamin D acceptance. But we may be doing a little Million MAGA tomorrow. I'll otherwise see you guys very soon.